Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey and Spencer Hughes here on the Daybreak Show. It's Friday, and that means it's a big day for the Rodeo Drive-In in Bremerton. On the phone line, Jack Onracek, our engineer. I will say that. He is our engineer for the radio station. I want to get that out there. But also, he is the owner of the Rodeo Drive-In. Morning, Jack.
Good morning, Jeff.
So this is pretty cool. It's been a long time coming. You guys have been shut down, but I want to go back a little bit to March because you guys and drive-ins across the state, which are limited in number, of course, got a huge boost for about a week or two as things started to shut down. Tell me that story, and then we'll get into what's going to happen today.
We had just opened for the season the second weekend of March. We got that first weekend in, and then the state started closing things down. The governors allowed us to operate because of the fact that people come to the theater in their cars. So there was some built-in social distancing there, and the state felt that we'd be okay. So we reopened under that exemption. It developed a lot of attention for us through the media, and we had huge crowds out at the four drive-ins that are here in Western Washington. And then the next week, the state completely closed down, the drive-ins included. So we'd been shut down since the middle of March. The other drive-ins, as the counties have rolled into Phase 2, have started to open up, and our county just hit Phase 2 last week. So once they did that, we started our preparations to open, and we'll be firing off our first shows on tonight. So
let's talk a little bit about how this works. I was reading some of the other drive-in messages online, and you're at a 50% capacity. So how does that work out? Do people reserve a spot, or is it first come, first served at 50%?
We have gone, most of us, to reserved ticketing, at least to start with. In our case, we're doing both, but by using the reserved ticketing, we know how many slots we have, we know how many people are coming in. It'll make things a little easier to manage at the box office line because we don't want a lot of people coming in just before showtime and then being disappointed that we have to turn them away because of the 50% restriction. Basically, we'll be putting cars between the poles instead of two to a space like we normally would.
And then the concession stands and that area, how has that been transformed?
Well, the concession stands, in a way, fit into the takeout-only concept that we had under Phase 1. So we were pretty much already doing that before this all hit. We'll be limiting the number of people in the building. We've got the stickers on the floor for the distancing, and we have the plastic guards in front of the cashier stations, and of course the staff will be wearing the masks and face shields that the state's required. So it'll be a fairly familiar picture. Most of what the drive-ins have been able to do will still be there. It'll just be a little bit more spaced out. In our case, we'll be instituting the ability to order food online, and we're just working the details of that out. So if people are more comfortable checking out our menu on their phones in their car, they'll be able to do that as well as attend the snack bar like they normally would in the past.
You can purchase your advance tickets at rodeodrivein.com. I'll put the links to this also on Facebook. So the big question is, what are you showing? What's the movies like this weekend?
That's where it gets a little creative, Jeff. The studios are not releasing any new product right now, and we don't expect that they're going to until next month sometime. So we all wanted to get open, and our communities, all of the drive-ins that have reported that the communities have just really wanted these places open back up. But what we play is going to be a little bit creative because we're all going back into classics libraries to find interesting shows to put on the screen. So in our case, we're going back to Shrek. We've got that playing with the new Trolls World Tour on one of our screens. We've got Hook that'll be playing with Jumanji this week, and then we've got The Invisible Man that we're playing just when we closed, and that'll be playing with The Wretched, which has probably the newest film to come out.
That last one sounds like it leans a little more older, mature audience. That final double. That screen will be rated R. The other two are PG combinations. So you have 3 screens for folks who haven't been to the Rodeo Drive-In. It's on Highway 3, right near the Bremerton Airport. And again, rodeodrivein.com. You have 3 screens up there. How does that work for everybody so they don't hear the other movies all at the same time?
Well, we're using FM stereo for our sound, which is what pretty much all the drive-ins that are left in the country have gone to. The speaker systems that most of us had got old, and the sound wasn't admittedly all that great, and they become kind of a maintenance problem over the years. So as other ways to transmit sound became more available, the drive-ins moved to AM sound, and then in the early 80s we started transitioning to FM, and we've had FM stereo out here since 88, and the speakers are all gone. There's only one drive-in now here in the state that still has a few of them left.
One final thing on the swap meet section. If we get in Kitsap County to a phase 4, I suppose, would be at that point. Are you thinking of bringing this back into maybe later summer?
Yeah, that's a real good question, Jeff. We haven't really decided that yet. We're watching the phases. We're watching what the communities do. One of the things that will be different here for a while is we had to fence off our playgrounds. We've got brand new playgrounds that are very popular with the kids, but for now they are going to have to be blocked off because for sanitation purposes.
Sure.
And the like. So. And we don't even know for sure when that will return. So we're kind of watching. The state guidance isn't specific about things like that. So we're watching the schools, we're watching the city parks, other places where playground equipment is located. And as we start seeing them open up, we'll start doing that here. But as far as the swap meet, it's pretty much the same thing. We want to get it back open, but we're not really sure. And frankly, our focus right now has been on getting the drive-in itself open.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think the swap meet, it'll return. We're just not sure when yet.
Well, it's a big weekend for the Rodeo Drive-In, and you can see some great movies there. Again, make sure, though, when you go to the website, rodeodrivein.com, you click on Purchase Advance Tickets. Now, you do need to make sure you have redemption page, so when you place your order and print it, or your documents have the accurate number of people in your car for the number of tickets purchased. You can see all that on the website. But it's going to be a fun weekend at the Rodeo Drive-In with either Shrek or the new Trolls, Hook, which is a classic movie. I love that one. And the new Jumanji, or Invisible Man and the Wretched. That's going to be a fun weekend for you, Jack. I hope everything works well. You stay healthy and safe, and you get a lot of good crowds out there this weekend.
Thank you, Jeff. We're looking forward to it as well.